Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, my friends. Hello, Jason here, and bringing you Integrative Wellness. This is Monday, June the 15th, 2020, 3 p.m. I hope that you're having a wonderful day today. Special hello to Dan and Gail. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome, guys. So nice to have you all here. And welcome to practice. So, this is our integrative wellness class. We do this class every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. And it's a great way to just kind of connect with our bodies and our breath. So, I thought, for today's class, it's interesting. I thought about starting it out a little bit slower and then kind of getting into some movement and then maybe bringing it back into that more relaxing space. So, hopefully that's a good itinerary for us today. I don't know why this Monday, it's kind of been an interesting Monday. I hope that everybody's doing well. Hopefully everything is going well, and we'll start. So, without further ado, let's find our way onto our mats and start with your knees bent, your feet hips width distance apart. Allow your knees to come together, and just relax your chest on down. So let your body relax here, and it's always incredible to have you guys here. It is a wonderful day to practice some integrative wellness. So without further ado, let us begin. And I'm going to join you guys for the practice. So starting on the mat, and you may want to place a blanket underneath your head and a blanket underneath your feet. So this is an option that we have, blanket underneath the head, blanket underneath the feet, and just begin to release on down. So you'll notice here as I find my way into this posture, I have this blanket that's underneath the head, and then I have another blanket that's underneath the feet, and I rest my head on down. And the reason for the blanket underneath the head is just to support the head and the neck. And the reason for the blanket under the feet is that it allows for the feet to release on down towards the mat. This pose is actually called constructive rest pose. And constructive rest is a pose that we take exactly as it sounds. Constructive rest. So we're allowing the body to rest in a constructive way. And as you rest here, just finding your way back into that breath of yours and noticing your inhalations and your exhalations. And just begin to observe that breath, inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And then from here, everyone, we're just going to take the right knee and hug the right knee into the chest. So a great way to start is just to move the right toes in circles here and counter circles, and just start to move some circulation into that leg. And then just letting the right knee roll out to the right side and drawing that right knee back into center and letting the right knee drift out to the right and drifting the right knee back into center. And drifting the right knee out to the right side and drifting the right knee back into center. Release that right foot on down, hugging the left knee into the chest now. So we do the same thing with the left side. So left knee draws out to the left and left knee moves back into center. And left knee moves out to the left and the left knee moves back into center. And the left knee moves out to the left. And one more time, the left knee moves back into center. Release that left foot down onto the blanket. Again, hug your right knee into the chest. This time, I'd like you to extend your left leg fully here. And one more time, just bringing your right knee out to the right and back in. And you'll notice here that the leg's a lot longer here as you bring the leg out and drawing that knee back on in. And one more time, drawing that leg on out and drawing that knee back on in. Good. As you draw the left knee into the center chest, extend that right leg on forward. Good. And then bringing that left knee out and allowing the left knee to come back in, and allowing the left knee to drift on out, and allowing the left knee to come back in. Left knee drifts back out again, and the left knee draws back in, and then you'll hug both knees into the chest. So as you hug both knees in, just begin to bring both knees out and both knees in back together, and both knees out and both knees back in together. Very good. One more time, both knees out and both knees back in, and then release that left foot on down again. So left foot is touching the blanket, left knee is bent, right knee is in the center chest. Now take your right foot and place it over your left thigh crease, and you're just going to begin to rock your left knee this time, in and out. Just a few times here. In and out. In and out. In and out. So hugging this right knee back in, release the right foot down, hug the left knee into the chest. So take the left foot, cross it over the top of the right thigh, and likewise here, you're just going to roll that knee. Right knee rolls in, right knee rolls out. Just a few times here. And as you roll the right knee in and out, just begin to breathe into the right hip socket. Begin to feel the right outer hip, the right inner hip, and then releasing, once again, the left foot back on the mat. This is called walking the dog. So you're just going to take the right knee, hug it in, and release the right foot down. And draw the left knee in, and release the left foot on down. Right knee hugs on in, and release the right foot on down. Left knee draws up and in, and release the left foot on down. Take your arms now over your head and drip both knees over to the left side. And as you drip both knees over to the left, look towards the right, and just breathe into those hips, breathe into the groins, breathe into the shoulders. Breathing into the body here. And eventually, drawing these knees back to center and floating the knees over to the other side. So again here, knees drift over to the other side and breathe here. Breathing in and releasing. And breathing in and releasing. And one more time, breathing in. And one more time, releasing. Very good. So now we're going to roll over onto the left side. And I'm going to have you guys press your way on up. So just like a little bit of an opener, if you will, we're going to find our way onto our hands and our knees. And as you find your ways onto your hands and your knees, just begin to spread the fingers wide apart. So notice the fingers pressing down on the mat. Let the fingers be wide spread apart. And then begin to let the outer shoulder blades wrap back and in as you lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale, round the spine here. Just let the head look down and just breathe. As you inhale, peel the chest on up, looking forward, looking up. As you exhale, rounding that tailbone on down and releasing the head all the way down towards the mat. As you inhale, peeling the chest on up, looking forward, looking up. As you exhale, rounding through the spine here. Very good. We're going to come onto our onto our forearms now. Interlace our fingers here. And just begin to extend the right leg back behind you. So as the right leg extends back behind you, lower the head on down. And breathe here. So press through the forearms, press through the wrists, press through the fingers. Release the head on down. So let the head release. Let the eyes close and breathe here. And as you breathe, press through the fingers, press through the forearms, press through the wrists. Press through that right heel. Let the head release all the way down. And then you'll draw the right knee into the chest, and you'll let that left leg extend. So again, you're going to press through the left ball of the foot. Lengthen that left leg back. Feel the left inner leg lifting up. Let the head release all the way down. And again here, drawing that left knee back to a bent position. Right leg extends back one more time.
This time, if you want, you can tuck the left toes underneath and just lift the left knee up off the floor. It's a little bit more, I know, but you can still remain in this relaxed state here. And lower that left knee down and lower the right leg down. Extend the left leg out, tuck the right toes under. And then from here, you'll just lift the right knee up off the floor. So again here, even though we're kind of lengthening back towards those hips, lengthening back towards those heels, you're still pressing through the fingers here. Releasing that head down. Exhale, lower the right knee down, lower the left knee down. Find your way into child's pose. Release the fingers here. Release the head all the way down. And as you release the head all the way down, breathe here. Child's pose is kind of like a reminder pose. It's like we can relax here. It's okay to relax. And then you'll take your hands forward of the chest. You'll spread across the fingers. See that the wrists are parallel with the top of the mat. And then inhale as you feel ready. Float the legs up and find your way into downward facing dog pose. So as you take downward facing dog pose, spread the feet wide apart. Firm the outer triceps in and release the head down to the mat. So especially here, you're going to begin to feel those fingers pressing down into the mat and just begin to rock those hips right and left here. So as you rock the hips from side to side, really feel the breath into the body here. So keep those eyes closed. I'd recommend it. And then just let the head release rather, and just breathe as you sway from side to side. And now, walk the feet forward towards the hands. Release the hands down to the floor. Release the head all the way down towards the floor. Take the right thumb, place it in the left elbow crease. Take the left thumb, place it in the right elbow crease, and release your head down towards the mat. And as you continue to breathe here, begin to feel your legs growing longer as you release the head down. And just breathe here. You can sway from side to side. Nice. And then take your hands back to the hips. As you press down through the feet, inhale, peel up the chest and find your way to standing here. Now take your arms, turn the palms to face the front of the room. Inhale, float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. As you exhale here, hinge at the hips and fold all the way forward. As you inhale, peel up the chest. And as you exhale, release the head on down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the fingers here. As you exhale, take the hands to the sides of the body. We're going to do that again. So inhale, raise the arms all the way up, look up towards the fingers. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, release the chest all the way down towards the thighs. Inhale, floating up halfway here. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, floating those arms up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the fingers. As you exhale, taking those hands to the sides. One more time. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening halfway. As you exhale, fold back down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, palms face one another. As you exhale, release the arms out to the sides. Hands come to the hips here, spread across the feet, and begin to turn both feet over to face the right side of the room. As your feet face the right side of the room, bend your right knee slightly and begin to straighten that right leg. Bend the right knee, and as you straighten the right leg, bend the left knee. So you're kind of doing this like rocking motion where the right knee bends, and then the left knee bends. And then the right knee bends, and then the left knee bends. And we're not going to be here for long. Right knee bends, left knee bends, right knee bends, left knee bends. Turn your feet back to center. Turn your feet to the other side. So for you guys, you remember we do some Tai Chi. This is actually a Tai Chi exercise. So the left knee bends, and as you shift the weight back, the right knee bends. And the left knee bends here. Shift the weight back, and the right knee bends. Left knee bends. Right knee bends. One more time, left knee bends. And again, right knee bends. So turn your feet back to center, step your feet towards one another, and then from here, interlace the hands up above the head. Press your fingers up towards the ceiling here. It's okay to have a bend in those elbows. It's okay to have a bend in the elbows and the feet or hips width distance apart. Spread the toes across the mat. Feel the feet pressing down. Feel the kneecaps lifting up. And draw the arms over to the right side of the room. Inhale, finding your way back to center. Exhale, drawing over the left side of the room. Inhaling back to center, looking up. As you exhale, hinging at the hips and folding all the way down to the mat. As you inhale, lengthen here and bend the knees a lot. So bend the knees a lot so that you can lengthen your chest forward of the knees. And you're going to begin to wrap your outer triceps back and in and lengthen your sternum forward. Crown of the head drives forward, knees are bent, chest is lengthening. As you exhale, glide your hands down the legs, release the head on down. Good. Now float the arms up towards the ceiling, raise the fingers up towards the ceiling, interlace the fingers here. This time the opposite way. And extend the fingers up all the way to the ceiling. So keep a light bend in those elbows and just start to draw the arms over towards the left side of the room. Feel that stretch along the right side of the body. Come back to center here and drawing the arms over to the opposite side of the room. Very nice. Take your hands, place your hands on your hips. Once again, step your feet wide apart. Spin both feet over to the right side again. And then from here, we're going to begin to bend into that right knee. So you kind of make like this platform here where your right knee is bent, your right knee is right over the right foot, and then your left knee is just slightly bent here. And then you just start to sway the arms in and out towards that knee. In and out. In and out. In and out. So we do this a couple more times rather, so that we can begin to kind of like bring circulation into the chest, into the heart, into the lungs. Just as a nice way of kind of bringing circulation and heat into the body. I know it's a little bit hotter outside, so I might teach us a little bit of a breathing technique to cool down the body. And then from here, as you straighten that right leg, you're going to bend the left knee. And then we've done this before, pushing the wheelbarrow. So you're going to take your arms, you're going to glide them forward and draw those arms back. And you're going to glide the arms forward and draw them back. Draw the arms forward and back. Arms draw forward and back. 2 more times. So like you're churning a wheel. Maybe you're churning butter or jam or something else that you are happy to be churning. Once upon a time I churned butter at an Amish place. That was kind of cool. So you just kind of keep churning here. All right, bring those hands back to center. Bring those feet back to center. And then turn the feet over to the other side. So first start with a bend in that left knee. So the left knee is bent here. And feel the weight of the body shifting into those legs. It's very important. So you want to feel heavy in the feet. Like not light in the feet, but heavy in the feet. And then you're going to start to sway the arms here. Swaying the arms as you start to move. And continuing to move those arms. Continue to keep moving those arms as you sway here. So a few more times like this, just beginning to sway those arms. Good. And then from here, we're going to come back to center, and you're going to begin to move into this left leg. So you're going to bend the left knee, and like you're churning butter here. So you're just going to begin to imagine you have a wheelbarrow, and you're just pushing forward and drawing it back, and pushing forward and drawing it back, pushing it forward and drawing it back, and pushing it forward and drawing it back. And then from here, you'll come back to center. You'll take your legs back to center, and then inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling again. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest, the heart, the sternum. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, raise through the fingers, and as you exhale, taking the hands back down into the sides. So you have one hand that's going to be moving up and one hand that's going to be moving down, and we're going to alternate. So you got your right hand is going to be gliding up towards the ceiling, like you're reaching up to pick a nice apple on the top branch, and then you draw that hand down, and then you do the same with the left.
So you draw up through that left hand, raise up through the left palm, and then you exhale, you draw that left palm on down. So inhale, drive the right hand up, glide the right hand up. Once again, you're grabbing an apple, and then you can eat the apple and then release that hand down. And then the left hand up, you extend the left arm up, raise up, grab the apple, and then you bite it, and then exhale, hand comes down. And then from here, just start to sway the body. So now we're more of a neutral position as you start to sway from side to side. Beginning to notice those hips as you sway here. Beginning to notice the legs as you sway. And if it's done, there's a certain way of swaying where you're not just swaying the body, you're actually shifting the weight from leg to leg. So I think we've done this before where you really sit into the leg that you're swaying into. So if I'm shifting over to the left, I really sit into that left leg. And if I'm shifting to the right, I really sit into the right leg. And you just continue to alternate here so you can always lift up the heel. And then from here, we do a little bit of martial arts as well. So you're going to, as you lift up through as you shift the weight to the right, and you lift up through the left ball of the foot, you're going to take your right hand, glide it on forward, draw that arm back, and then come back to center. You take your hands to center, you take your right hand on top. Step the right leg out, take the left hand forward, draw it back, and then bring both of your hands back to center. So now we can do the left. So you step your left foot forward, drive the right hand in, draw it in back, and then back to center again. And we do the same thing with the left hand. So you drive the left hand forward, you draw that hand back in, you bring the legs back, and then you step. Okay, so now you step out with the right leg, and then you open the arms up. Then you bring the hands back into the center chest, and then you do that. So it's a little bit different. It's not as like aggressive. It's more of an opening pose. Like you open up, then you bring the hands in, then you bring back, and then you go to center. Let's do it 2 more times. So opening up, bringing the hands in, bringing the hands out, and back to center. Opening up, bringing the hands in, bringing the hands out, and bringing back to center. 1 more time each side. So stepping out, open, and then in. And open, and in. And then open, and in, and open, and in. Very nice, everyone. Okay, let's just come into a nice long forward fold. So take those feet about hips width distance apart. Release the head down to the mat and breathe into the back body here. As you breathe into the back body, just begin to feel your breath traveling into the neck, the shoulders, the legs, and the feet. Let your hands be very heavy here. Let your hands be super, super heavy. Like your hands are holding bars of some type of heavy substance, and they're just letting your body release here. And as you hold that, you're just letting the legs grow longer here. Breathing here and just releasing. Maybe you're holding bars of gold and you're just feeling your body continuing to release all the way down to the earth. You're just releasing that head down. You're releasing the neck down. That's it. And then from here, take your hands to your hips and then inhale. Lift the chest and find your way to standing. Very good. All right. Inhale, open those arms up. Raise those arms up above the head. Interlace those fingers. Press the palms all the way up. So stretch out through the top of the body as you lift those. If you lift those hands up, lift the heels up off the mat. And as you exhale, bring the heels back down to the mat. Bring the hands to the head. As you inhale, float the hands up. Lift up through those heels, and as you exhale, hands come to the head, release those feet on down. Inhale, float the arms up, float the feet up. Exhale, hands come down, release the hands to the head, and just start to sway the chest over from side to side. So these are very small movements here as compared to some of the other movements we've been doing thus far. And you just begin to rotate the chest from side to side. And continuing to move from side to side here. Good. And then from here, as you feel ready, take your hands 1 more time, bring them down your legs,
Only this time, walk your feet a little bit wider apart. So you can always walk your feet wider apart and then come down if you want. Have your hands holding onto your shins. And just breathe into your legs once again. So throughout today's class, we're also talking about the depth of the breath. So let the breath travel from the feet to the calves, from the calves to the thighs, thighs to the chest to the arms, to the crown of the head. Breathing in here and releasing. And then you'll take your hands to the hips and you'll press your feet on up. And then you'll take your feet together here. So the right foot comes to center, the left foot comes to center, and you open the arms on up. Good. From here, one more time, let's interlace those fingers. Let's lift those arms up towards the ceiling. Raise those fingers up above the head. Bring the head over to the right shoulder. And then back to center into the left shoulder. Good. Now take your left hand, place it over the top of the right side of the body, and then just pull the left elbow over to the left. And then back to center. Let's do the other side. So grab hold of the top of the head and just pull the left side of the head over to the right. And then back to center again. Excellent work, guys. Okay, so from here, lastly, we will do a little bit of long stretch here. So we're going to take a trikonasana, one triangle on each side. So you're going to turn your feet to the right. You're going to take your chest. You're going to bring your chest over to the right. You're going to place your hand on your shin. You're going to take your other hand to your hip. So we'll start here. Add a light bend to that right knee, just a little bit of a bend. And then as you feel ready, inhale, float your left arm up towards the ceiling. And as you press to the left pinky toe side of the foot, see if you can lengthen your left hip back. See if you can press to the right ball of the foot. See if you can draw the right hip in. And then this is the hardest part. The right side of the chest is usually the least access part of the body in this pose. So can you lengthen from the right side of the chest as you draw that right hip back? So the right hip draws back, the right arm grabs hold of the right shin, and then the right shoulder draws back as you lengthen the right side ribs forward. Inhale, floating that left arm up, hands come to the hips, turn back to center, and then to the other side. So we take this on the other side. We start by bringing the left hand down the leg, and then we lift the right arm up towards the ceiling here. So press into the outer right foot, press into the left big toe mound of the foot, and as you lengthen through that right arm, wrap the left shoulder back. So the left shoulder draws back, the left hip draws back, the left side of the chest moves on forward. Keep breathing here. So really nice long stretch for us before we kind of get more into our ground series. Nice. Inhale, float that arm back up. And then let's bring our feet back together. Okay. So now let's find our way back onto our mat, and we're going to take downward facing dog pose again. So spread across the fingers here. Press down through the thumb and the forefinger. Lift the hips up, float the thighs back, downward facing dog. Release the head on down. So as you breathe here, those inner forearms are going to lift on up. The outer hips are going to release back, and the head releases all the way down towards the mat. And then from here, you're going to lower the knees down onto the mat. You're going to sweep the legs forward in front of you, and we're going to come onto our back again. So I'm going to kind of guide you guys through a more restorative posture series right now. It's called yin. Yin is just a technical word for relaxing postures. So you're going to take the left leg over the right, and then you're going to bring your arms out to the side. You're going to scoot your hips over to the left, and then you're going to bring your legs over to the right. So what I'd recommend, if you have a blanket, you could place a blanket under the legs. You could place a pillow under the legs, and just close the eyes here. And this is going to be like a meditation now. So as you close the eyes, soften your eyes. Soften your facial muscles. Feel the lips relaxing. Feel the chest muscles releasing all the way to the elbows. The elbows releasing all the way to the wrists. The wrists releasing all the way to the fingers. Breathe into the belly. Feel the softness in the belly. Then breathe into the back body. Notice if the upper back can release to the middle back can release to the lower back. And then the pelvis. Top of the pelvis releases to the inner pelvis. The entire pelvis relaxes and releases here. And as with the knees are releasing to the ankles, and the ankles are releasing the feet. So once again, we're holding these poses for longer than usual. So if you ever become uncomfortable in the pose, then please, please, please back out. I know some of these poses, even this pose, it could be very working on the hip flexors. So then you're going to bring these knees back to center. You're going to uncross the legs. And you're going to take the right leg over the left. So if you had your legs propped up, maybe select a prop on the other side. Scoot the hips all the way over towards your right, and then let the legs drift all the way over towards your left. And breathe here. And as you breathe here, just begin to feel the shoulders releasing. So from the center chest, releases to the elbows. From the elbows, just releases to the wrist. And from the wrist, it releases to the fingers. Feel your chest softening here. Notice the in-breath and notice the out-breath. And breathing in. And breathing out. And breathing in. And breathing out. And one more time, breathing in. And one more time, breathing out. So come back to center again, uncross those legs. Now you're just going to let the legs rest over to that side. So you're just going to drift the legs over, simple twist here. No cross in those legs, just a simple little twist. And then you'll bring the arms up and over the head if they're not already there, and breathe into the chest. Breathe into the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the face. Breathe into the entire chest region. And just see how much you can relax. See how much you can let go. And breathe. Allow the breath to travel down into the hips. Come back to center here with those legs. Drift the legs over to the other side. Change sides here. So if you're using a prop, once again, just make sure it's comfortable. Let those legs release on down. Let the breath release on down. Continue to breathe here. Breathing and releasing. And breathing. And releasing. And breathing. And releasing. Very good, guys. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to find our way into a seated, all right, we're going to find our way into a seated position right now. Sorry about that. So you can roll onto your side and press your way up, or you can just press your way up and have a seat. So maybe you're sitting on blankets, maybe you're just sitting on the floor. It doesn't matter. Wherever you can sit comfortably, just make sure that you're comfortable. And close your eyes. And very rarely do we actually take time to formally sit. Most of the time we're spent moving from pose to pose. But sometimes it's good to just sit. And as you sit, just start to notice your own breath. Can you notice your breath in your nostrils? Can you notice the inhalation in the nostrils? Can you notice the exhalation out of the nostrils? Can you notice the separation between the inhalation and the exhalation out of the nostrils? The space between. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And then just start to incorporate some of that movement again as you start to move the neck, head, and shoulders around in these circles. And it doesn't have to look any particular way. You could keep your eyes closed in this pose if you want. And just starting to feel like you're able to release any sense of anything that's stuck with the body. Just let it go. Shake it out. Let it go. Let it go. And the other side. And then come back to center here. Come back to center. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, peeling through the chest. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Good. Take both hands and just bring both hands over to your left. Right hand comes over your left knee. Left hand comes back behind you and just twist here. Close the eyes and breathe. So the left knee is releasing down towards the mat. The right hip is releasing down towards the mat as you breathe. You can move the head if you want. Come back to center and change sides. And move that head around. Good. And then come back to center. And then begin to move the body around. This is a very Kundalini exercise. This moving in this way, they do this all the time in Kundalini. Well, not all the time, but it's a common practice. And then the other direction. And the idea is just to move stagnation out of the body by moving around in circles. Just let it go. Let your body go. Let yourself become absorbed in the movement itself. Like the movement becomes a form of meditation. Nice, guys. Okay. And then from here, we're going to find our way back onto our mats. And I will say that the practice at this point will become very relaxing. So this is just an opportunity for us to get, once again, reconnected back to where we started. So you release the hands over the head again. And if you have blocks, what you're going to do is you're going to place blocks on either side of your knee. So you'll place your blocks here. Your blocks are going to move to either side of that knee. And then you're going to close the eyes here. So this is the first pose. Now, we're going to do a technique. It's called Reiki. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. What you're going to do is you're going to set an intention. So you're going to take your hands to the center chest and you're going to set an intention. Whatever that intention is. It could be, may I feel healthy, or may I feel safe, or may I be connected, may I be alive. All these things. And then you set that intention. Then you place your hands right above your forehead, and if there's any other intention, you hold it here. Maybe that your Reiki may move for your highest good and for the good of all sentient beings. And then when you bring your hands back to your chest, we say, I'm not doing anything at all. I'm just allowing this Reiki energy stuff to move through me. And now we begin. So take your hands and cover your eyes. So you're either going to place the front side of the hands over the eyes or the back side of the hands. And just breathe. Don't be so concerned with what it's supposed to feel like. Just breathe. Noticing if you can relax into it. The mind, the body, the self. Good, and taking your hands and placing them on top of the head. Now, if you feel distracted here, that's fine. Really, what we're doing is we're training ourselves. It's not that we should feel completely enlightened or empty on our first try, but that over time you should feel more balanced. And for everybody, that's different. So you could even say to yourself here, may I release into this moment. May I be with peace, mindfulness, and ease. And then yogis, take your hands and place them behind the head. Now with the legs, if you want, you could just extend the legs forward in front of you. And just release here. Hands are behind the head. So breathe into the back of the head. Breathe into the hands. And breathe. And just allow for this space to emerge. You're going to take your hands now and place them right over the neck. Right over the top of the neck. So this is called the neck region, and you're going to place your hands there and just breathe. So why do we do Reiki, you may ask? The reason we do it is because when we focus on these relaxing spaces, it allows for our mind to become like that. So obviously there's a bunch of famous quotes, but there was one that I was thinking of that, I don't know why I was thinking of Tweety Bird, but it had something to do with Tweety Bird. And this idea, it will come back to me, this idea of allowing for ourselves to be connected through the present moment. So as we begin to connect through the present moment, we become more relaxed and more at ease and more still. Right, and then from here, take your hands to your chest. So now I'd recommend just letting the head roll from side to side, just so that you get any stiffness or stuckness out of the neck. And then just come back to center. Let those eyes be closed. Let the breath be long and slow. And then take your hands to your belly. And likewise, just move the head right and left a few times. So we're doing this as an activity to learn how to relax. And it's not easy. Sometimes it feels easy, sometimes it is easy. But it depends. It depends on how your day went. It depends on how your day is going right now. And if you're feeling relaxed, you'll begin to feel a lot more connected to this present moment. See, relaxation is the key to growth. And then take your hands and place them over top of the pelvis. You could just place them on the top of right where the hip bones are. And just breathe here and rock the head from right and left. So once again, right now we're in a very quieting space. You know, we've been here for a little bit of time, and the idea is just to quiet our mind, to quiet our breath. So what I'm going to have you guys do now, I don't think we've done this in this class. I'm going to have you guys take your legs up the wall. So if you don't have a wall within reaching distance, what you could do is you could place your hips on a block and lift your legs up like this. So you could either take this pose right here, block under the back, and draw one leg up, and then the other leg up just like this. That's one option. The other option is if you have a wall close to you, which I would recommend, just take your legs and place them on the wall and close your eyes. So you could take this pose, or you could stick your hips next to a wall and breathe here. And try to allow for your thighs to move away from your chest. Not all the way, but just a little bit, because as I've noticed, when you close your eyes, sometimes it feels like the legs are drifting towards the face. So you just want to make sure that the legs are even on that pelvis. You don't want too much weight to shift over the left, and you don't want too much weight to shift over the right. Or back and forth. And if you can, wiggle the toes here. So I love this stretch. This is probably one of my favorite stretches, because what it does is it restores the body's natural system. When we take our legs up like this, we're beginning to bring the body back into balance. Good. And then from here, you'll bend those knees. You'll release the feet on down. If your legs are up the wall, take your legs down the wall, and then you're going to set up for final resting pose. So if you have a pillow, place a pillow underneath the legs, or place a blanket or a bolster underneath your legs, just like this. Could be a blanket, could be a bolster, could be a pillow. Release the legs out to the sides. We're going to go through these Reiki positions one more time, just a little bit quicker this time. So start by taking your hands to the eyes. And actually what I like to do here, yogis, is I like to place my arms on these blocks so that they're supported. So I don't feel like all my weight is drifting into my shoulder. That's an option if you guys want. You just kind of take your blocks and you place them right next to you, and you can then place your hands over the eyes. In Reiki, all you need to do is touch the area. You can touch your eyes and release. And take your hands to the top of the head. And then you can take your hands to the back of the head. So you're just placing the hands for a few moments in each position. And the idea is that over time, we actually can rest into one position. So even this pose, right, with the hands above the head, I can rest here because I've taken the pose. And continue to breathe here.
I think you're right. Allowing for yourself to relax here completely. And then taking your hands over the throat and just resting here. Taking your hands over the throat and resting here. Nice. So breathing in here. If you want, you can repeat the sound chokeray, 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 which means physical well-being. If you repeat the sound seheki, 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 that means emotional well-being. So maybe one of those works for you. Seheki or honshaze shonen. Honshaze shonen means the connection between physical and mental. Honshaze shonen. Of right mind and body now. Take your hands, place your hands over the chest, and be here. Hands are over the chest. Move those toes around. So feel free to move the toes around. I'm kind of holding a little bit more poses today than I usually do. This probably won't be the norm tomorrow, get back to movement. But for some reason today just seemed like a day to hold the poses. And then take your hands over to the belly and the same. Breathing into the belly and releasing. And then take your hands to the top of the thighs. Move the head over to the left, and move the head over to the right. And move the head over to the left, and move the head over to the right. Head to the left, and head to the right, and head to the left, and head to the right. Good, so then as you come back to center here now, you'll take your legs and you'll bring your knees into a bent position. And I'm just going to have you lie on your side for a few moments. So make sure that you're comfortable here. You may need to fold your pillow one more time, or your blanket one more time, and just rest on your side. So sometimes our practice looks like this. You know, this was a very non-active practice today. We had a little bit of activeness in the beginning, but towards the end it was very mellow, a lot of lying down poses. It's not always like this, but sometimes it looks like this. And as you continue to breathe here, just release on down. Close those eyes and let the eyes melt towards the back of the head. Let the ears release. Let the face muscles release. Begin to breathe here as you release, truly release the body. Face, neck, shoulders, arms, fingers. And then from here, as you feel ready, you're going to begin to blink the eyes open if you close them for a moment. And you're going to begin to press your way up into a seated position again. So as you come into a seated position, find your way sitting up on a prop, maybe sitting up on two props, and sitting on down. Okay, cross-legged, and close those eyes. So like I said, today's class, super mellow. Just beginning to find your way inward here and realizing that some days are restful, you know, and it's okay that that's the case. But as we find our way back into our breath, what I'd like you to do is focus on your intention. What is your intention for today? And it may just be to rest for the rest of the day. It may be to go gardening. It may be to take a walk outside. It may be to, eat a healthy meal, etc. Just be with that intention. And then holding on to that intention, I'd like you to bring your hands to the center chest and bow down to your intention. Because intentions are really what guides us. What our thoughts are, that's what ultimately usually manifests as our realities.
And then lifting your head and gently open the eyes. Namaste. So I thank you guys so much. I apologize if it was a little too mellow. For whatever reason, I kind of like lost energy towards the end of the session, so I kind of kept it really low key. That's like more of a restorative like class. But I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the class. If ever you guys have any requests for classes, always let me know. You can send me a message via Messenger, just letting me know if you have any particular requests for classes. We do this every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. and all the classes are different. So we do like, sometimes it's more mellow, sometimes a little bit more active, sometimes we got essential oils, sometimes we got Reiki, we got meditation, all different practices. So please, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. As we close out, as always, I give you guys my little sign off. So I hope that you guys have a phenomenal day today. Gail and Dan, have a wonderful evening. I hope that you're well. Hopefully it wasn't too mellow for you guys, a little bit like sleep yoga towards the end. But I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. Hopefully I will see you guys soon. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much, Gail. Always amazing to have you guys and to be able to share practice, and have a phenomenal, phenomenal evening. Eat well, rest well. Oh, Jonathan, great. Okay, have a spectacular evening as well, Jonathan. Thank you so much for joining, and really have a blessed evening. Thank you guys so much. It is a pleasure to be able to share these practices with you all. If you guys ever have any special requests, just let me know. My name is Jason Goldstein. I do this every single day of the week, and I have all different types of classes. So please just feel free to tune in. We do wellness every day at 3 o'clock, and we have classes throughout the day. So if there's any other classes you like, please feel free to check in with me. I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. As I say always, be well, be happy. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.